The big story of tonight, last week an immigration raid at a food manufacturer in Cato. Since then, NBC3 has been following community action and the legal process following the detention of dozens of workers.
5 people who were detained at the Nutrition Bar Confectioners last week are now facing the federal charge of re-entry of a removed alien. According to court documents, 1 individual is from Mexico, the other 4 from Guatemala. Each charge alleges the individuals were already found in this country illegally and were deported a previous time. They will now go before a federal judge for those charges. In light of the recent ICE raids in Cato, we're setting out for a greater understanding of the rights of those detained last week from the Nutritional Bar Confectioners plant. Our Rachel Culver took questions to an attorney who had 6 clients detained that day and says their rights were violated. Rachel?
Matt, Megan, the recent ICE raid in Cato has started to raise questions about what legal protection undocumented immigrants with work permits have here in central New York. One lawyer who represents some of these workers says he believes his clients' rights were violated. Jose Perez has a long history of working on immigration cases in our state. 6 of the people detained in Cato last week are his clients.
So they go, to Cato because they know that there were a lot of, people from other countries working there, probably about half of the whole force, and then they just stop there. So there is no real investigation now. It is just a matter of stereotyping. Who looks Latino, who speaks Spanish, let's take them down.
One of his clients already deported to Guatemala, an example of the swift action from the federal government.
They're claiming that many people are subject to what's known as expedited removal rather than regular deportation proceedings. And if you are in expedited removal, then you have a lot fewer rights to be able to contest the deportation charges.
Stephen Yale-Lair, a retired Cornell law professor, says undocumented immigrants can apply for asylum, which can lead to getting a work permit. He says more and more ICE is claiming such people can be arrested and detained.
And part of the issue with that is that the work permit itself doesn't actually give them the basis not to be detained. For instance, if the ICE wants to detain them for any reason that they may think that they are violating some laws or any other type of infractions, they may be detained. The problem with this type of detention is that they were not doing anything. They didn't have criminal records. They are not the worst of the worst that the administration is trying to pin them.
Perez says the families of those detained are experiencing a range of emotions, all while having to carry on with everyday life and the fear of what they could be sent back to.
We have other people that are escaping violence, domestic violence, that are escaping, gang-related issues in other countries where the gang members are trying to recruit your children. And I have talked after this raid with a family that was the mother of 2 children that was crying here in my office just yesterday and telling me, Jose, I'd rather die than go back and take my children back to, in this case was Honduras.
Both Yale-Lair and Perez spoke about the ripple effects this sort of action from the federal government could soon have, especially on the economy. They say employees and employers could soon feel the hurt. In Syracuse, I'm Rachel Culver reporting.
We'll keep trying to talk to other employers and see how it's working for them too, Rachel. Thank you.